Welcome to my Homeopathic Remedy of the Month series. This is a series where I'll bring you detailed information about a specific homeopathic remedy or remedies so that you can better understand the remedy and what conditions it can potentially be used for. As always, please note that the remedy or remedies discussed can be used for the conditions mentioned, but aren't always the right remedy for your specific situation. If you are a home prescriber but do not see improvements from the remedies you use, please reach out to me for a consult so we can get your health moving in the right direction. When someone first comes into homeopathy, they quite quickly learn about the ABC remedies. These are the 3 remedies most homeopaths and homeopathic users will say are musts to learn about and have on hand. Now, depending on who you ask, the A stands for either aconite or arnica. Both the B and C remedies are pretty set in stone. Belladonna for the B and chamomilla for the C. Today, I'll be talking about chamomilla. If you're new to homeopathy and would like to learn more about belladonna or arnica, I'll post a link to those videos in the description so you can check them out. And stay tuned because I'll be doing a video on aconite at the end of the year. Chamomilla is made from the chamomile plant. Yes, the same plant we might use for chamomile tea. Chamomilla is one of our greatest pain remedies and is thus known as the homeopathic painkiller. A person who might need chamomilla is hypersensitive to pain, irritable, frantic, and downright highly emotional. You might say their nerves are on edge. Have you ever looked wrong at a teenager only for them to turn into a raging lunatic right in front of you? How about a teething baby who is fractious and crying because of the pain of those little baby teeth pushing through their gums? Or maybe the grown man who thinks he's dying because he has a cold, also known around here as the man flu. All of these are instances where chamomilla might just put this person at ease. As I said, pain is such a heavy keynote for this remedy. Someone might say that their pain is unbearable and they just can't take the pain anymore. This pain can be from teething or tooth pain in general, pain from an earache or ear infection, labor pains in a pregnant woman, joint pains, menstrual pains, and almost any pain you can think of. If their outcry about the pain seems to be out of proportion for the condition at hand, chamomilla might be the right remedy for them. Chamomilla can be very useful for those people who are hard to please. They might desire to be carried or held, but the moment you pick them up or hold them, they become very angry and push you away. They may even hit or kick. They might want an object so badly, but when it's given to them, they throw it across the room. At night, they might be chilly and have to pull the covers up over them. But then they get hot and subsequently have to throw the covers off or even undress. Yes, chamomilla can be of great benefit for these situations. Think of this remedy for those kids with oppositional defiant disorder. This is defined as a behavioral disorder characterized by a persistent pattern of angry, irritable moods, argumentative, defiant behavior, and vindictiveness, typically directed at authority figures. Sounds exactly like what we're talking about here. I remember the time when a friend of mine sent me a text message and said, "Hey, the other day I was putting my kid into his car seat and he was not wanting to go in. He would stiffen up, arch his back, and cry and just would not let me buckle him in." I thought back to your intro to homeopathy class and remembered chamomilla. One dose and a few hugs, and he went right into his car seat with no problem. How beautiful is that? This mom didn't need to yell at her child, spank him, force him into his seat, or cause any more of a scene just because he wouldn't calm down. Chamomilla put him right at ease. And before you say, well, maybe it was the hugs. She was trying the hugging thing before chamomilla was used, and he still wouldn't let her put him in the car seat. One of the other notable signs chamomilla was the right choice was the stiffening and arching of the back. Great work, Mom! Now, another interesting symptom that might make you think of using chamomilla is for a child that has one cheek that's red and hot, while the other cheek is pale and cold. Typically, you'll see this during a fever or when the child just doesn't feel well. Remember, we're always looking for those strange, rare, and peculiar symptoms in homeopathy. And having one side red and the other not is a very peculiar symptom indeed. Chamomilla might also benefit someone who overuses coffee or pharmaceutical drugs. These type of substances create a neurological hypersensitivity. And as I've already said, these people tend to be hypersensitive to pain and seem hypersensitive in general. So it only makes sense that chamomilla would help if this is the case. Other conditions that chamomilla can be useful for are colic and abdominal pains, stools that are green in color, headaches that are throbbing and worse from coffee, fainting due to extreme pain, hypersensitivity to tags on clothing, temper tantrums, pain from braces, pain from grinding the teeth, ear pain when flying, facial pain, whooping cough, breath holding in kids that are angry, and irritable infants who are breastfed and whose mom drinks coffee. Now, all symptoms for someone who might need chamomilla tend to be worse at night and worse from wind. Now, what remedies are similar to chamomilla? For some of the descriptions I've already given you about wanting to be held, you may have thought of pulsatilla. Pulsatilla is weepy and clingy and wants to be held and is better from consolation. But chamomilla is angry, wants to be held, but is worse from consolation. Calc-phos is another. It has similarity to chamomilla in that it can be used for teething and irritability and is such a great children's remedy, just like chamomilla. And other remedies such as Heparsulf and belladonna also have irritability and anger and are both additional remedies to consider for ear infections. Now let's talk about potency. I personally like to have chamomilla on hand in a 30C and 200C potency, as these are quite effective for most ailments that you would need them for. So there you have it. That's chamomilla. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer those for you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.